We're looking at a serious, high-leverage tool that global entrepreneurs are absolutely obsessed with right now: Hong Kong company formation. For foreigners, Hong Kong is basically pitched as this ultimate strategic gateway. You hear these massive, bold claims constantly. Stuff like 100% foreign ownership and this incredibly unique territorial taxation system. But what's the actual reality? Today, we're cutting through all the marketing fluff. We're going to look straight at the legal framework, the exact setup costs, and what it actually takes to run one of these day to day. No assumptions, just the data straight from our sources.
Before we dive into the massive tax benefits for foreigners, let's talk about your global foundation. You absolutely cannot tap into international markets or truly optimize your tax strategy without a properly structured overseas entity. Most entrepreneurs try to scale globally, using their local domestic setups, and that's exactly why they get crushed by heavy taxes and international payment barriers. Your business needs a legitimate, officially recognized presence in a pro-business jurisdiction. That's where OSOM comes in. OSOM is the absolute best service out there for foreign founders, handling your entire Hong Kong company formation 100% remotely. They take care of all the heavy lifting for you, securing your legally required local registered office, providing your mandatory company secretary, filing your incorporation documents, and even helping you open a multi-currency business bank account without you ever having to step foot in Asia. Getting this right is non-negotiable. Setting up in Hong Kong unlocks a world-class banking hub and a territorial tax system, meaning if your revenue is generated outside of Hong Kong, you could potentially pay 0% in corporate taxes. Check out the link in the description below for my full OSOM review. And make sure to use my link to get your Hong Kong company set up right through OSOM today to unlock exclusive discounts and perks. Okay, so the core architectural advantage of Hong Kong is how deeply it's integrated with free trade principles. If you're a foreign investor, you can own 100% of the company, literally the whole thing. There's zero requirement to bring on a local partner or give away equity just to operate. Plus, and this is absolutely huge, there are zero currency controls. You want to move capital in and out? Go for it. There is no government interference holding up your funds. And the whole thing runs on an English common law framework, which basically means you get reliable, enforceable contracts and actual legal certainty. Now, looking at the Inland Revenue Ordinance, there's a really specific definition of the profits tax. It says you're taxed on profits arising in or derived from Hong Kong. That phrasing right there, that's the game changer. Hong Kong taxes the source of the income, not where the company is a resident. So think about it, this creates a totally legal, incredibly powerful avenue for an offshore tax exemption. If you can definitively prove that all your profits are generated completely outside of Hong Kong, those profits might legally not be taxed there at all. Section 2, core specs and setup steps. Let's look under the hood. The requirements to actually set this up are remarkably lean. We're talking absolute bare metal requirements here. You need a minimum of one director who's at least 18 and one shareholder. And yeah, those two roles can be filled by the exact same person. So you can be a solopreneur running the whole show. You don't have to live in Hong Kong. Actually, any nationality is permitted. And to top it all off, there's literally no minimum share capital required to start. Oh, and the best part? You don't even need to step foot on a plane to Hong Kong to get these roles set up. The incorporation pipeline is super aggressive. It generally takes just 5 to 7 days. You start with getting your company name approved and filing the incorporation form, which is called the NNC-1. Now, you're legally required to appoint a local company secretary and maintain a local registered address, but that's standard. Once all that processes, you get your business registration certificate. Then comes the final and, frankly, the most complex step, opening the corporate bank account. But purely legally speaking, your corporate shell is built and ready to go in under a week. 0%. That's the number everyone talks about. Because under this territorial tax system, if you successfully file and prove your offshore claim to the Inland Revenue Department, the IRD, showing that your core income-generating activities happen entirely outside their borders, well, those specific profits are legally completely exempt from corporate tax. 0. But wait, what if you actually do generate income inside Hong Kong? Even then, the local rates are wildly competitive. They use a two-tier profits tax system. So the first 2 million Hong Kong dollars in profit is taxed at just 8.25%. Anything over that 2 million mark hits a flat 16.5%. So really, whether you manage to lock in that 0% offshore exemption or you're paying the local rate, mathematically, your tax burden stays incredibly low compared to most global averages. Section 3. Real-world foreigner use cases. Let's see how this actually plays out. So, Two of the absolute most common ways foreigners use this setup are for offshore e-commerce and as holding companies. If you're running e-commerce, it's just a brilliant streamlined vehicle for plugging into Asian supply chains while hitting global markets. For holding companies, it's ridiculously efficient. I mean, Hong Kong generally doesn't charge capital gains tax, no VAT, no GST, and get this, no withholding tax on dividends. That means your holding company can just distribute tax-free dividends right back to its foreign investors. It's a massive win for maximizing returns without getting crushed by tax leakage.
And here's something a lot of people don't realize. This structure can actually unlock direct financial support. The Hong Kong government actively funds growth, and eligibility is strictly based on local incorporation, not your nationality. Take the Bud Fund, for example. That offers up to 7 million Hong Kong dollars for branding and expanding into markets like mainland China or the EU. Or if you're heavily focused on R&D, there's the Enterprise Support Scheme. They'll actually match your R&D spending dollar for dollar up to 10 million Hong Kong dollars. No equity taken, no repayment required. If you're a foreign-owned local entity, you can absolutely tap into this capital.
But let's pump the brakes for a second. If your primary driving goal is securing that 0% offshore tax rate, there are some really strict operational realities you have to accept. You essentially need to be a ghost in the city. To qualify, you have to answer no to having any operational footprint. No Hong Kong-based customers, no local suppliers, definitely no physical office or retail space there, no locally based employees. And this is a big one. Your key business contracts cannot be negotiated or signed in Hong Kong. The moment you cross any of those lines, you drift right back into that taxable local bracket. Section 4, the honest pros and cons. Let's weigh it all out. We need to be radically honest here. The pros are definitely heavy hitters. I mean, skipping VAT, GST, and capital gains tax, plus having a network of over 45 double tax treaties so you aren't taxed twice globally, that's incredible. But the cons are very, very real. The IRD places an incredibly strict burden of proof on you to validate your offshore status. And second, getting traditional banking set up as a foreign-owned company is going to involve high friction, extra screening, and some pretty substantial upfront costs. Speaking of the Inland Revenue Department, they take an aggressively stringent approach to these offshore claims. They're going to put your business under a microscope. Why was the Hong Kong company set up? What's its exact role? Where exactly does the core income-generating activity take place? And remember, the burden of proof is entirely on your shoulders. You have to maintain absolutely flawless records. We're talking crystal clear contract trails, perfectly logged invoices, records of negotiations, shipping proofs, board minutes, the whole shebang. If your paperwork is messy, your offshore claim is going to fail, period. Then you've got the banking reality. Sure, incorporating the company is cheap and fast, but getting a traditional bank account, that's a serious hurdle. Major institutions basically view overseas companies as inherently higher risk. Just to open an account, a bank like HSBC will hit you with an 11,000 Hong Kong dollar fee solely for overseas company due diligence. DBS and Hang Seng, they're charging roughly $10,000 just to look at your application. And worse, a lot of these traditional banks won't even let you open the account remotely. They actually require the director to fly to Hong Kong for an in-person interview. So yeah, while fintech options are popping up, going the traditional banking route takes real capital and a ton of upfront effort. Section 5, final verdict and takeaway. Look, setting up in Hong Kong isn't some magic bullet or shady loophole. Like we've covered, it is a highly formal, strictly regulated claim. Getting that 0% offshore rate means you have to prove your business model to one of the most sophisticated, rigorous tax authorities in all of Asia. It requires hiring professional tax advisors and executing meticulous planning right from day one. Anyone who thinks they can just register a shell company and magically stop paying taxes is going to get hit hard with penalties. So, what's the ultimate takeaway? It's all about understanding the trade-off. You are absolutely accepting high initial friction here. Those massive due diligence fees, the strict banking interviews, and the heavy documentation requirements. But in exchange, you are unlocking unparalleled tax efficiency, a rock-solid common law legal framework, and totally seamless access to Asian supply chains and government grants. If your business is well-organized and globally distributed, it's a remarkably powerful foundation. But if your operations are disorganized, that compliance burden will literally crush you. Which brings us to the final critical question you need to ask yourself. Is your business model structured cleanly enough to actually survive the IRD's offshore scrutiny and unlock that 0% tax rate? Because if you really can separate your operations cleanly from the jurisdiction of Hong Kong, the financial rewards are massive. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to flawless execution and rock-solid evidence.
Thanks for tuning into this explainer. I hope it helped bring some real clarity to the true benefits and realities of Hong Kong company formation for foreigners.